This is Matador News, and these are today's headlines. The U.S. is setting up an anti-missile defense system in South Korea after North Korea's recent missile test. Fires in the Midwest have burned 10,000 acres in Oklahoma alone. Republicans released their plan to replace Obamacare.
Hello and welcome to Matador News. I'm Jose Duran.
And I'm Katherine Molina. The United States has begun sending an anti-missile system to South Korea after North Korea launched test missiles Monday. The U.S. missile shield is raising tensions with China because the country believes the system is a threat to its own ballistic missiles. Under UN resolutions, North Korea is banned from testing any ballistic missile technology. Despite the ban, North Korea has threatened to conduct more missile tests as a part of an annual military exercise. White House President Secretary Sean Spicer said the launches are a very serious threat and the U.S. is standing with its allies.
Thousands of people are under evacuation orders due to fires burning in 4 states. Winds are making it difficult to battle the flames. 4 people have been killed. The fires are burning in parts of Kansas, Texas, Oklahoma, and Colorado. In Kansas alone, the fires have burned more than 600 square miles. The Forest Service announced that 4 firefighters were hurt battling the fires yesterday. Fire warnings have also been issued for Missouri, Iowa, and Nebraska.
Grant High School is open after receiving bomb threats. The high school in Van Nuys was on lockdown yesterday morning. Police have a 16-year-old in custody tied to the online threats. Information about the suspect has not been released yet. Police say the bomb threats could be a hoax.
It's time to get out and vote, California. Let's go to Isabel Ochoa in the newsroom with more on Election Day.
It's voting day for the primary elections, and multiple measures are being featured on the ballot today. Some of these measures include Measures H to help end homelessness and Measure S to slow the growth of housing developments across the city. One CSUN student says she was not aware of the elections until this morning.
I recently, in the morning, I found out about it, but I do think they're just as important as the presidential elections because, it's a system and it works from the lowest to the top. So, if you really care about what's going on in your country, you gotta vote.
But another CSUN student says she's looking forward to participating and exercising her right to vote.
My mom has been reminding me for these past couple weeks, and I am gonna vote because I feel like if something goes wrong or something passes that I don't agree with, I can't say anything if I didn't try to have my voice heard with my vote.
Mayor Eric Garcetti is running for his 2nd term as mayor of Los Angeles. Polling places are closing tonight by 8 p.m. Now back to Katherine in the studio.
More than half of Americans believe the Trump administration's ties with Russia should be investigated. An increasing amount of people believe Russia attempted to influence the 2016 election. A new CNN poll reveals 50% of Democrats are seeing Russia more as a threat than last spring, before the news about any ties came out. 20% of Republicans say they don't believe Russia was involved. Trump says investigators should also look into former President Obama wiretapping Trump Tower. Over the weekend, President Trump posted numerous tweets accusing the former president of wiretapping, but the White House has offered no proof to support the claim.
President Trump has implemented a new travel ban. He signed an executive order yesterday that blocks citizens from 6 predominantly Muslim countries. The president signed the first travel ban in January. It sparked protests across the country, and it was eventually blocked by a federal appeals court. The latest version includes all the countries previously banned except Iraq. Washington Attorney General Bob Ferguson says it will be phased in, unlike the original executive order.
He also mentioned when he signed the original executive order, as you know, it went into effect immediately, which caused chaos at airports all around the country. This new executive order, of course, does not go into effect until next Thursday, so it has about a 10-day cushion before it goes into effect.
The new ban does not include visa holders or permanent residents. It also doesn't give preference to Christian refugees like the first order did.
American Indians are going to Washington to express their frustration with the approval of the Dakota Access Pipeline. After a federal judge declined to stop the construction of the pipeline, thousands of opponents plan to camp each day at the National Mall. The 2-mile Native Nations March will lead protesters from the Army Corps office to a rally near the White House. Protesters plan to camp with teepees, light ceremonial fire, hold cultural workshops with speakers. Chairman of Standing Rock Sioux Tribe says that they must march against injustice.
Mark Beggs, the transgender boy who won the girls' Texas state title, might not be allowed to wrestle during his senior year. A lawsuit has been filed against the league. The 17-year-old Beggs says he would rather wrestle boys, but he is not allowed to. The league rules say student athletes' birth certificates determine which gender they compete with. The lawsuit claims Beggs has an advantage because of the testosterone he is prescribed. But Beggs says he is taking lower doses than he should, to be fair. He ended the season with a 56-0 record.
Now let's go to Adam Hajost with the latest in health news.
Thank you. House Republicans have introduced their bill to replace Obamacare. The new Affordable Care Act will replace federal insurance funds with a new form of individual tax credits and grants. The legislation will keep two of the popular features of Obamacare. One is letting young adults stay on their parents' health programs until the late age of 26. The other is not allowing insurers to deny coverage or charge more to people with pre-existing medical conditions. The bill will provide each state with a fixed amount of federal money for each person on Medicaid. The House committees will vote on the bill Wednesday. Now to the newsroom with Emilyn Zazueta with the latest on the Republican health care plan.
Now the big question is, how might this affect the average American? CSUN Chair of Health Sciences Louis Rubino says the new health plan can come with a hidden cost.
Well, for the average person that does work and probably has a somewhat decent wage, might have limited choices in regards to what health care coverage they can get. And the subsidy that the government is providing a number of these people will probably be decreased or go away. So I'm concerned that the average American is going to have to seek other ways of getting their health care coverage. And probably it's going to be more costly in the long run for the average American.
The new health plan would take a lot of government support out and put more control into a private sector. Back to you in the studio.
Trump has offered federal funding for Planned Parenthood if the organization stops providing abortions. The president of Planned Parenthood rejected the proposal, saying that federal money is used for abortions anyway. Trump says he is pro-life and is deeply committed to investing in women's health. The Congressional Budget Office says taking away funds from Planned Parenthood would roughly result in 400,000 women losing access to health care. Here's Alaysia Navarro with the latest in business news.
Volkswagen has unveiled its driverless car with a voice assistant and giant TV screen. The name of the concept car is Cedric. It's being referred to as the Lounge on Wheels. The vision for Cedric is to be accessed by the public through an app similar to Uber. Volkswagen says the car could also be for personal use. The company hopes to have the completed models done by the year 2025. ESPN plans to lay off some of its on-air talent. The amount of people to be cut has not been finalized. On-air personalities for TV, radio, and online will only be affected. 2 years ago, the network cut about 300 production employees. Those cuts were due to an increase of unsubscribers. The new layoffs will occur until June. The White House seems to have plagiarized a paragraph in a press release originally released by ExxonMobil. The oil company first put out a statement about its expansion. Almost 30 minutes later, the White House released a statement congratulating Exxon. The wording of the statement is exactly word for word the same. Exxon officials say they gave the information to the White House. Now back to Adam with sports.
The LA Clippers overcame a 13-point deficit to beat the Boston Celtics 116-102 last night. Blake Griffin had 26 points and Chris Paul added 23. Jamal Crawford had 19 points off the bench and made 3 3-pointers in 70 seconds. Isaiah Thomas led the Celtics with 32 points and Marcus Smart with 21 off the bench. This was Paul Pierce's last game against his former team, but he didn't play last night. He led the Celtics to a championship in 2008 and was this MVP in the series. The Oakland Raiders have a funding for a stadium in Las Vegas. The Raiders informed the NFL's Finance and Stadium Committees yesterday. Clark County Commission Chairman Steve Sisolak says that he spoke with someone from the NFL on this upcoming project.
It is true. I spoke to an NFL source personally this afternoon. They confirmed to me that Bank of America is stepping in to provide the financing for the construction of the proposed stadium.
The Raiders are contributing $500 million toward the project. The stadium will not be completed until 2020. Raiders owner Mark Davis said he planned to keep the Raiders in Oakland for 2 more seasons, even if the move to Vegas is approved. The World Baseball Classic is in full swing. Israel continues to turn heads as they beat Chinese Taipei 15-7 in Seoul. The Netherlands defeated South Korea 5-0 and sit in second place behind Israel in South Korea's division. Japan beat Cuba 11-6 in Tokyo to take first place in their division. The U.S. plays Colombia in Miami on Friday as Rays pitcher Chris Archer gets the starting nod for the Americans. Now let's go back to Alaysia for entertainment news.
A British coroner has revealed the cause of death for former pop star George Michael. Oxfordshire senior coroner Darren Salter says Michael's died due to natural causes. Michael suffered from heart disease and liver disease. Michael's passed away at his home in England on Christmas Day last year. He was 53. Chance the Rapper has donated $1 million to the Chicago public school system. A Chicago native himself, Chance says he's using the donation as a call to action for his community. Chance will be using his organization to help raise money for the schools.
This check that I donated is a call to action. I'm challenging major companies and corporations in Chicago and all across the U.S. to donate and to take action.
The district is currently in a budget hole. It may cause 400,000 students to leave the school year early. Now let's go back to Katherine for more news.
Caltrans officials block a dirt ramp used by a motorcyclist to soar across the 60 freeway. The 24-year-old motocross enthusiast became an internet sensation after the stunt was posted on social media. Riverside officials recognized the location as San Mateo Badlands and advised the Caltrans to destroy the ramp to prevent it from happening again. A Caltrans officer says people could have lost their lives on that highway. The stunt broke local ordinances against driving an off-road motorcycle on a highway and reckless driving. CHP officer says proving those misdemeanor charges might be difficult, but if anyone is caught doing it again, he or she will be prosecuted.
It's a beautiful sunny day in the San Fernando Valley. The high will be 75 today, and temperatures will continue to rise this week, reaching into the mid-80s by Thursday. Despite these warm temperatures, in SoCal, the north is recovering from a snowstorm that shut down Interstate 80 over the weekend. The Sierra area should remain dry the rest of the week, but more snow could be coming this weekend. Thank you for watching Matador News. I'm Jose Duran.
I'm Katherine Molina.
I am Adam Hajost.
And I'm Alaysia Navarro.